All right, we are going to get into this practice by starting standing up at the top of your mat, wherever that might be. I'll face you for now, but you can always face towards the top of the mat or wherever is comfortable. So this is our Ashtanga yoga practice. It's about an hour long. Eventually I'll change this to maybe a 75-minute class, but for now, we'll do what we can. So let's either take our feet hip distance or together with the big toes touching. Take your hands and press them together and towards your heart. This is where we connect. So take this moment to start to breathe in deeply, in and out through the nose. Feel that breath, that air flow through the body, circulating from the back of the body down to the lower lungs and up through the front of the body and out through the nose. Create some heat. Start to build this warm up even with just the breath and standing still. Lengthen as much as you can from the heels to the crown of the head. This is our mountain pose. It's one of our base poses. We should feel strong with a solid foundation. Take a couple more deep breaths. This is a great place to set an intention for your practice or your day. And we will begin and end, but we'll begin with an Om. If you'd like to join along, you are welcome to. If not, you can listen along. So you take a deep breath in first, and then an exhale, let it go. And next one for an Om. Inhale. Om. You can take your hands down. Let's make our way to the top of the mat if you're not there already and do our sun salutation A's. Together, standing tall, palms forward. Inhale, reach up, connect the hands at the top. Look up, little back bend. Exhale, open the arms, diving down, forward fold. Lengthen through the back, lift up halfway, hands on the shins or hands on the floor with that flat back. Exhale, plant the hands down, step your feet back. For the first one, we step it back to plank pose. Right away as you exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Elbows bent, knees can be up or down. Lift that heart forward, upward facing dog. Abs in, strong. Shoulders back. And then downward facing dog. Use your core strength that we're still warming up to lift those hips up and back. Now you might feel the urge to pedal the feet a couple times. That's okay. You can do that. In the next few sun salutation down dogs, we'll find stillness. And we take 5 breaths in each down dog. Just to allow us to build strength and become a bit more open. This too is a great foundation pose, much like mountain pose. Press down through the fingertips. Relax the neck. Heels press down and slightly outward rotation. And I lost count, but that was about 5. So on the end of an exhale, step or jump forward to the top of the mat. Lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down, nose to knees. Inhale, look forward, rising up, arms open up, reach up, everything up. And then let that go, hands by your side or hands to your heart. Do it again. Inhale, reach up with less words this time. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthen out, half lift. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, step or jump back. Keep exhaling as you lower. Don't jump back if you're back. Up dog, inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. Stay here. 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go to the top of the mat. Bend the knees, stretch, look forward, jump or step, half lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Rise it up, inhale, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti, stand, release, let go. Do one more sun salutation. A, reach up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, step back or jump back. Elbows in, heart forward, gaze forward, lower down. Up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Rolling over the toes whenever appropriate. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take it forward. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Standing up, inhale, reach up. And let go. Chair pose, bending those knees to back, circle the arms up, sun salutation B. Reach up. Weight in the heels, connect the hands, look up, exhale, forward fold. We'll do this one slower. Half lift. Exhale to chaturanga, that tricep push up. Up dog, inhale. Down and facing dog, exhale. You can lift your right leg or keep it pressing down as you take an extra inhale. Step the right foot forward between the hands. Spin the back heel down for warrior 1. Reach up. Stay here, hold it, bending to that right knee, shoulder soft. Inhale, hands connect, look up. Exhale to the ground, step back, plank pose. Inhale, extra breath, shift forward on the tippy toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. You can always skip that vinyasa flow, that push up, go straight to down dog. Take a deep breath, either lifting the left heel or just pressing them down, preparing. Exhale, left foot steps forward, warrior 1, stance. Rise up. Hold here, connect the hands, inhale. And exhale out. Let's let it go. You might have lost a breath there, that's okay. Step back, plank pose. Spread the fingers wide, deep breath in, shift forward, lower down. Inhale, lift that heart up, dog. Down dog, exhale, hips to the sky. We hold for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step the feet forward. Half lift. Forward fold. Chair pose, sit back, reach up. Stand up, mountain pose, hands down. All right, we'll do that one more time, moving on. Bent knees, reach up, chair pose, Katasana. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, look forward. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, step back or jump back, lower down. Inhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step the right foot forward right away. Warrior one or Virabhadrasana one, reach up. Connect the hands, look up, right back down, exhale. Step back, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Left foot steps forward on that exhale. Rise up, warrior one. And take it down. Step back, chaturanga. This is our last one, by the way. Up dog and downward facing dog, holding for 5 breaths. And we'll move on to some standing poses to get a little more heat in the body. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep pressing to the heels. 5. Bend the knees and step or hop forward. Half lift. Forward fold. Chair pose. Sit back, reach. Hands up, connect them, and then let it go. All right, jump the feet or step the feet hip distance apart. Hip distance, hands on the hips, roll the shoulders back, look up. Use your peace sign fingers and grab your big toes as you exhale, forward fold. Lengthen, half lift. Exhale, bend the elbows, pull down, nose between the knees or headed that direction. Each pose we hold for about 5 breaths. It's just the count that works for this practice. And when you get used to doing this practice over and over and over, and you try to hold some of these poses for like 8 or 10 breaths, ooh, it's a really, really good challenge. It's amazing. Frustrating, but good. All right, release the toes, half lift. You're gonna take the hands on the hips, bend the knees and rise up. Step the feet together. Stepping that right foot wide, step way back, open up. We turn to the back for triangle pose. Left heel facing the front, hips are neutral or in the sort of diagonal line. As you lengthen both sides of the waist, reaching, right hand slides down that right leg. Left shoulder opens, we reach up with the left hand. You should feel this left hip sort of rolling inward as that right hamstring stretches out. Rising back up, we switch sides, lift up. Use your core strength to do that or help yourself up with your hands on your legs. Switch, pivot, right hips back, lengthen through both sides of the waist as you open up to triangle pose. You might even feel a little stretch on that, the oblique of the right side. Not a big stretch, but a little bit of length just above the hip. Get light on that bottom hand. I say these cues as a reminder to myself too. Makes it easier to tell you if I'm doing what I'm reminding myself. Rising up, let's take it to a twist. Lift up, turn back to the other side. You might step the back foot in a bit or widen the stance. Hip square to the back of the mat. Reach that left hand forward, hinging forward. Left hand goes down on the inside or the outside of the foot as you turn the body and reach up with the right hand. Revolve triangle. Other side, bend that front knee or right knee, rise up, windmill it around, switch sides. Right hand reaches long and finds the inside or the outside of the foot. Press into the hands, rotate, reach up with the left hand. Look up towards left shoulder. And rising back up, lift up. Ooh, step to the top of the mat. In between, we are going to do another sun salutation. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Exhale, step or jump back to plank pose. Instead, here, we're going to lower all the way to your belly. So all the way down. Hands next to your shoulders, roll the shoulders back. Lift the heart, little cobra pose. Lower back down. Press a little bit more into a deeper cobra pose. Elbows are still bent, but you're using your hands to press into them. And your triceps and biceps. And lower back down. Press into the hands, slide the heart forward, upward facing dog. And then down dog, exhale. We don't stay for long. Step or hop forward. Half lift. Forward fold. Rise up, inhale, stand. And let that go. We'll take the right leg, step it back again. This time with a bent right knee, turn all the way, turn to the right side, bend the right knee. Open the arms, elbow to the thigh, left arm up high. We've got side angle. There's a few other options here with the hands down towards the floor or extended in the left arm. Just make sure we're bending into that right knee to get the length in the left side. Look up towards left hand or shoulder. Good, switching sides, rise up. Switch, bend that left knee. So imagine this right or this back leg rolling inward just a bit. Side angle. So your back toes are trying to get as forward as they can. And then rising back up. I like to do this arm sweep. Reach up or lift up. Pivot to the back again, taking the back knee down. I want to get a little bit more into some twists today as we're going to pair them with some back bends. So we'll keep the twists in the practice. So knee down just to start with. Left elbow hooks across the right leg. So you might even give it a lot of space as you exhale. Try to close the gap between your shoulder and the knee. Press that top hand into the bottom. And then optionals or your other variations include lifting the back knee, opening the arms, or any kind of lunging twist that's going to fit your needs today. Keep breathing deep. All right, rising back up, lift up. Take your time, switch sides. So you take that right knee down to start with. Right elbow goes across the body, across the thigh. Press the palms together so you get some length out of that back into the left hand. We'll do the same variation, or depending on your body, if you're less symmetrical or more asymmetrical, we can do a different variation. Just twist it into this lunge and breathe deep. Okay, rising back up, lift up, open to your star, and then step back to the top of the mat. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Step or hop back, elbows into the side of the body. Upward dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step or hop forward. Top of the mat, half lift. Forward fold. Rise up, inhale. Mountain pose, exhale, release it. Step those feet wide again, open the arms. Exhale, hands on your hips. Feet parallel to each other, inhale. Roll the shoulders back, heart lifts. Exhale, forward fold, hands down towards the floor. Take another half lift to lengthen through the back of the crown of the head and fold down, trying to get the forehead down towards the floor. Lift halfway, take a deep breath in. Slight bend in the knees, exhale. Hands on the hips. Inhale, rise. All right, so open up those arms again, reach. Interlace the fingers, press the palms together, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, fold forward, take the hands, draw them together. Okay, release the hands down to the floor. I'm going to lift up just partially. I have not done this on a Ashtanga-ish yoga video yet. So we're going to go into the wonderful open leg splits. So take those feet and spread them wide. And you might be already at that place where you're feeling your inner thighs, you're feeling your hamstrings, and you're done. If you've got a little more, you can press into the hands a bit more and start to slide the legs wider and wider, wider. No comparing, no competing. Just find that place where your breath is still good. You're feeling a lot. And we won't hold for too terribly long, not like 10 or so breaths, but we will transition in between each. And you might sit down first. I'm close to the ground, so I'm going to sit down first and back, and then turn to the right side. If you're up a little higher, which I'll show you that right now, up a little higher, turn to the right into a splits, into what you usually see as a splits. So right leg, left leg back, knee can come down for splits here, or you can continue to slide into it. So what we're doing is working this back hip flexor as well as that front hamstring. So we want a lot of length, a lot of press down through the hips and lengthen that back. If you've got a place where you can hold it, I don't have my blocks with me, but if you were down, we could potentially reach up, connect the hands. If that's going to be too much weight or pressure on the legs, stay with the hands down. And then wherever you are right now, fold forward over that right leg. Lots of core strength even to help support you in this pose. Rising back up, turn back to the center. Adjust as needed, take your time there. So back at the center where we were in this wide splits. Stay up, telling myself that. Then turn to the other side. And take your knee down, adjust. Turn in splits towards the left. This side might be easier, harder, it doesn't matter, it's a side. And you can take the hands up, connect them, or like me, keep them down. And there are some days I can get into the splits and I'm feeling awesome about it. And some days, no, that's gonna happen. So if you pick a goal pose and then get there, so that your poses will come and go day by day, week by week, year by year. Some will come once, never again, and that's all right too. We practice non-attachment with our poses and our, well, anything that we're doing. All right, let's fold it down. So let's see if we can get a little farther into over that left leg. Get a lifting back up, actually turning, I'll lift your upper body, turn back towards the center, or where our center was. Take it super wide, and then gently sit back. Not maybe like me, but take your knee down, sit back, and then take wide legs, as wide as your body allows. So we're working inner thighs. If your hamstrings allow, if they are stretched out enough, you'll feel it more here in the inner thighs. If your hamstrings are still kind of tight, you'll feel it more in the hamstrings, and that's okay. So let's reach up, connect the hands, press up, look up, toes pull back, press the knees down, backs of the knees trying to touch the ground. A simple yet very active and powerful pose. Okay, then reach forward, let go of the hands, hands down. Stay here or start to slide, walking them forward. Elbows, maybe chest and chin down. All right, walk your hands back up. And it's pretty simple. Bend the knee, and bring the legs together. Whew. Roll to the top of the mat, step back, plank pose. We'll do our vinyasa. Lower down, up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Ooh, hey, check out those legs. Step or hop forward to the top of the mat. Half lift, forward fold. Rise up, inhale. And then release that. Pyramid pose. Step the right foot back about halfway or so. Turn to the back of your mat. So your back heel, left heel is farthest back. Your toes pretty much face forward, maybe a slight turn out in the left foot. Hands behind the back. You go fist knocking, hands on hips, or a reverse prayer. Draw the shoulders, elbows back, chest forward. And start that hinge forward. Only go halfway though. Today we'll go halfway, about parallel to the floor. That might not be your halfway, but I mean halfway down towards the ground. Because from there, we're going to build some strength in that right leg, right hip, stabilization. Bend the right knee, lift the back heel off the ground, and then straighten both legs. Without opening that left hip, drive through the left heel, reach through the crown of the head. Step back, bend that right knee, step back, lift up, pivot to the front. Left foot is forward, lean forward. About halfway or parallel to the ground. Bending into that left knee ever so slowly. Keep that heart open, shoulders back as you lift the back foot, back leg. Feel the strength in your low back, the strength in that left leg stabilizing. Can you get longer through the limbs? Good, step back. Turn and open. Oh, release the hands. Stay open here. Maybe heels of the feet in just a little bit. Toes turn out slightly. Reach up. Connect the hands and lower into a squat. Malasana. And it's almost like we need two mats, one perpendicular, because we're sort of all directions here. We can pause and hold this side, this Malasana squat, to practice a little bit of crow pose, because we can. Crow pose, a little bit lower to the ground, so you snuggle in there, hands down underneath the shoulders, bend the elbows. You're going to lean forward and lift the heels. The heels, good. Look forward beyond the fingertips, so far beyond where you're actually going to go or where your head would ever land. Lean, bend the elbows, hug the knees actively onto the arms. So together, squeeze, like you're trying to squeeze your body. Then shift forward a little bit more. You might lift your butt a little bit. One toe might lift, two toes might lift. And we've got our crow pose. My abs are completely engaged here because I found a balance point. And it's more so about my inner thighs, pulling inward and hugging my elbows. If you take your hand wider, facing this direction. If you take them even wider, like the edges of your mat, and you take the inner thighs to your elbows, you could do sort of like a variation, a low crow. So just some crow options. We'll get into Bakasana or crane pose in a little bit. Give you some time to play. And come back down. Straighten the legs. Shake that out a little bit. Bend the knees, take the hands on the hips, and rise up. Step to the top of the mat. Good, wherever that is. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Step or hop back, plank pose to chaturanga. Up dog, we'll get into our back bends in a moment. Down and facing dog. Step or hop forward to chair pose. Sit back, feet together, hips back, reach up, connect the hands. Keep breathing. All right, into crane pose, hands come down. This is a little bit quicker, but we'll try it. Hands come down under the shoulders. Lift the heels. So you've got long, straight legs if you like, but we'll bend the knees a little bit. Open the knees into more of a diamond shape. Arms are long. Knees go up into the armpits. Look forward. Straighten the arms. Use your core strength a lot in this pose. Shift forward and take a foot or two to lift. Once we're up, we do a vinyasa. So you step or jump back to chaturanga, up dog, and downward facing dog. Knees down, sit back in child's pose. We're going a little bit more twisty. So the next pose is not one I teach a whole lot because I don't like it. I don't like it, but we're going to do it. So let's come back to down dog. Step or jump the feet forward. Bend the knees, sit on the heels. So this is a toe stand. Right? So just toe standing. There's a couple options to do this. I like to roll my mat, so my heels are underneath my mat. It's helpful because we're twisting in our seated toe stand. So while here, knees draw together, lift up tall, turn to the side. You might just find a twist right here, elbow pressing, awesome. We're trying to get that shoulder across the knee, hand down, and eventually, and possibly, not that, again, doesn't matter. I don't know that I'll ever do this, and it's okay. We bind the hands, so under the legs and around the back. I maybe have done this once in my life. But I like just to stay here in this nice toe stand pose without shifting the knees, so they stay together, and the hands can come to prayer. The reason I like my heels up on a mat is because it's easier on my ankles. And because I'm feeling a little explorative today, and I want to try Judy's variation of side crow, and take our hand down, or you can get a little more space in there, hand down. The right hand reaches kind of out to the side there, out to the side. Lift the heels off of your mat or off of the floor. Bend the elbows a little and shift. So your knees are squeezing together on the left elbow as you lift the toes. Come back down. In between, forward fold. I'm going to turn to this side now. I'm going to switch sides. So we're back down, knees together. Turn to the side, other side. Elbows in, or right elbow across. So get some space to snuggle in there. We can stay in that twist. Knees bent evenly and pressing together. If you're going for the side crow, we're not making a shelf today. Instead, we take that left hand, the outside hand, and reach it forward or beyond where your gaze is. Right hand comes down. Lift up on the toes, shifting forward into the hands. Knees stay bent together, and the weight of your legs is on that right elbow. And you can come down onto that. Unwind the twist, lengthen the legs, roll your mat back out. Half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step or hop back. Chaturanga. Up dog should feel good. And downward facing dog. Getting into our back bending section. Shift forward. Lower to the ground all the way. Hands behind you. Palms pressed down, squeeze the legs. Lift the heart and lift the gaze. Shoulders back. Lift the feet. Locust pose. Right, lower back down. Hands under the shoulders, slide forward to up dog. Downward facing dog. This down dog acts as our neutralizing pose. Long extension through the spine, not so much around our forward fold, but just a nice down dog in between. Okay, shift forward, lower down. Come up onto your elbows. Onto your elbows, one leg at a time. Bend the right knee, reach back, find the foot, and press it downward. Heel or ankle goes to the outside of the right thigh. Knee hugs in towards the midline, and your shoulders are facing forward, and you feel that right shoulder as you press the foot down. Half frog pose, Ardha Bakasana. And then switch sides. Let go of that. It's a quad stretch, less so much of the back bend. But if you're looking to increase in your back bends, and you're thinking it's all about back flexibility and how to get your back more flexible, it's actually not. It's more about opening the front line, the quads, the chest, the heart, opening up in the part where it needs to stretch more. This is one of them. All right, let that go. Hands on their shoulders. Lift the heart, up dog, down and facing dog. Bow pose is next. That finishes our prone back bends. Shift forward, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Bend both knees. You can reach back and do the same pose we did to start with, or bend the knees and find tops of the feet to the ankles. Toes together, knees hip distance. Look forward, press into the hands and rise. And lower back down. Hands under shoulders, up dog, inhale. Down and facing dog, exhale. This time let us, yes, take the knees down, sit back to child's pose for more round in the back. All right, we're gonna lift back up and sit on the heels. So next up is going to be sort of our energizing peak of the practice. These transitions are optional. We'll do 2 poses back and forth, and you can choose if you want to take the intensified version or to just calmly rest. And some days you may take more of that intense version. Some days you may be like, not this morning. So the pose is camel pose and handstand. So how that goes is we lift up onto the knees, have the hands on the hips. We'll do 3 of them, so 3 variations. Roll the shoulders back, hips press forward so they're over the knees, shoulders back, look up and squeeze the elbows together. Camel pose variation. Breathe deep. Whether or not you can touch your heels, we'll get there, but this one I want you to focus on the core strength and the lift and the squeeze of the shoulders. And then rolling up from the bottom of the belly, lift it up through the crown of the head, sit, stand, kneel tall, and then sit. You can stay seated or take the hands down, lift up, step 1 foot forward, practice some kick-ups. Handstand or no handstand. Sitting is great too. And back to our camel pose, lift back up. Hands on the hips, waist, roll the shoulders back, C shape in the spine, hips forward, and we can stay in that first variation. Or maybe with me, you're taking the heels today, 1 at a time. Lift the heart, squeeze your backside, look up, not back. Hands on your hips to come back up, rolling from the bottom to the top. Sit for a moment, or if you're still into it, trying again, hands forward, tuck the toes. Handstand or not, kick-ups or jumping. I surprised myself. All right, back down. Whee. Lift back up to a kneeling. And we'll do 1 more variation of camel pose. Hands on the waist, roll the shoulders back. Hands can find the heels, or maybe you find more of the calves. Hands walk up a little bit, and you tilt yourself back just a bit. Hips come back. Find the strength in the quads. Squeeze to the back of the body. Hands back on the hips, rolling back up slow, controlled. Sit back, Last chance for a handstand, or sit, rest, and take a nice few breaths. And step back, plank, chaturanga, up dog, and downward facing dog. Knees down or jump through to sit through. Cross the ankles and sit back. Legs out in front of you. One knee comes in. I'm going to take my right leg in. Sit tall, hug the knee, and twist, looking over the right shoulder. Switch sides. Back to the center. Extend the legs straight forward, out in front of you. Sitting tall, reach for the toes. Lengthen and fold. All right, lifting back up. We're going to take ourselves down to the ground. Bend the knees. Reach forward, roll yourself down. We'll do 2 more back bends, because why not? We're on the ground here. We can do this. Let's press the feet into the ground, palms down. Simple bridge pose. Press into the feet and lift the hips. Squeeze our shoulders together. Keep the chin slightly tucked. Make sure there's space between your neck and the floor. Lower back down. Take a moment to release that or relax, in whatever way you would like. Or you can choose to do bridge pose again, or come with me to wheel pose. We've done a few back bends now. We're quite warmed up. Urdhva Dhanurasana, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows to the sky. Watch out for your hair. Press into the feet and the hands. Lengthening, and especially lengthening the legs, so you get the heart pressing back towards where your gaze is. And lower back down. Legs will go straight up. If you are so inclined here to take shoulder stand, that is an option. Pressing into the elbows, lift the hips over the shoulders, and hands on that low back. Either way, you're getting an inversion that helps to restore and relax your body. Take the feet back behind you. Big toes touch the floor. Press through the knees. You might touch the floor. If not, that's okay. And then bend the knees around the ears if you're in plow pose. You roll it down slowly from wherever you are. And hug the right knee in, close to the chest. And take it across the body for a spinal twist. Pick up that left hip to help your leg across. Good, and take that right leg back up to the top. Give it a nice squeeze in. Switch sides, left knee in. And across the body. And back to the center. Hug both knees in. Give yourself a rock side to side. Grab the feet for happy baby pose. And we're going to conclude our practice quite non-traditionally, so we won't do the seated editing. We're going to head to Shavasana after this. So if there's any last or other poses you would like to do to complete your practice, now would be the time. And we'll take our legs down. And when you're ready to join us for Shavasana, we'll be here for about 5 minutes or so. So find a comfortable place where you can relax and release your arms, your head, your neck, your shoulders, your body. Let go of your breath, allow it to come in and out naturally. And if you set an intention at the beginning of our practice, come back to that. Come back to that place with a slight smile on your face and enjoy these next few minutes of peace and silence. And take a deep breath in. Starting to wiggle those fingers and the toes. Reach your hands up overhead. Prolonged stretch. Reawakening. Bend the knees and roll to your side. Typically right side, but you can choose either side. Hold it there. Take a couple deep breaths just to notice how you're feeling, how this practice has treated you today. Using the top arm, push back up to a seated pose. And we'll end as we started with an om and a greeting or farewell. So let's reach up, take the hands up, connect them, and then draw them down to your heart, feeling in that practice. And inhale and exhale. Next one, an om if you'd like to join. Inhale. Om. That is our Saturday morning yoga practice. Thank you so much for showing up here on your mat to be pretty much together. And I hope to see you again very soon. Namaste.